Today we're going to be taking a look at Genshin Impact running on GeForce NOW's 3080 tier compared to the PlayStation 5 experience. Both are set to 4K 60fps with GeForce NOW running at maxed out settings. Right off the bat, I want to begin by saying Genshin Impact looks beautiful on both. It's a fantastic game with a stunning art style. That said, there are some notable differences in visuals. First up, I noticed that the PlayStation 5 version of the game does have more frequent visual bugs. Case in point, this view right here. The mountain in the background is almost completely void of all trees when compared to GeForce NOW. It's super strange to see, but I do think it's a visual bug rather than lower draw distance, simply because I've only noticed this happening at this very specific spot. Other long distance views within the game still show trees at a pretty great distance on PlayStation 5. I also want to note that texture pop-in tends to happen at a much more noticeable distance up close than on GeForce NOW, but visual hiccups aside, let's pause and take a closer look. Shadows are certainly better on the PC version of the game. The overall sharpness of the leaves really does stand out here when side by side to the much more blurry PS5 shadows. Interestingly enough though, the PS5 version does have more grass at longer distances. As a reminder, all settings on GeForce NOW are maxed out, so this definitely appears to be a limitation on the PC version of the game itself. One important detail that I do want to mention here is that the developers did state that Genshin Impact was almost entirely built from the ground up all over again for PlayStation 5. While this definitely has some benefits, the reason for this is most likely due to PlayStation's history of issues here and there when it comes to running games running on the Unity engine. And we'll talk just a bit more about that in just a second. Besides the issues I just stated on the visual front, I would argue that both versions of the game still hold up really well. I will give the slight edge to GeForce NOW, as when you really start to look up close, things like shadows and texture look more defined at a distance, and I'd rather have that over additional grass far away. All that said, performance is a very interesting topic. Despite Genshin Impact being built from the ground up on PlayStation 5, when it initially launched, it had some serious frame rate issues where it would drop to the mid-40s. Luckily, the majority of that has been patched out, keyword being majority. I still experienced some lesser drops here and there, nothing too substantial, but it was enough to notice. This mainly happens when a lot of effects are happening mid-battle or when gliding around a populated area. Once again, nowhere near enough for it to cause a huge issue where I would stop playing, but certainly enough for me to notice. In comparison, GeForce NOW handles Genshin Impact amazingly well. I saw a slight micro stutter in the city, but aside from that, it felt incredibly smooth to play, and feel is quite important here. I genuinely think the game plays better on GeForce NOW than on PS5. That's once again, not to say it's unplayable or anything like that on PlayStation, both play amazing, but GeForce NOW managed to feel smoother. I would imagine this is mainly due to the slight fluctuations in frame rate happening mid-battle, but I really think it's a testament to how far cloud gaming has come, where I would even consider giving the edge to the cloud compared to a local piece of hardware. Overall, both versions of the game run really well, and they're worth your time. But if you have the option to play on the 3080 tier, I'd seriously consider it over the PS5 version. You'll get a very stable 60fps frame rate at 4K, you gain the option of playing it at 1440p 120fps if you prefer, something the PlayStation version doesn't currently offer, and you'll run into less visual hiccups with the added benefit of sharper shadows. The PS5 version is still a great option though, and regardless of where you choose to play Genshin Impact, the experience will be great as a whole. I am looking for feedback on this type of video. It's the first in a series I want to start doing on the channel when I can. I think more often than not, people have some misconceptions about cloud gaming not being comparable to local hardware. This really isn't the case anymore, and I want to highlight that. With that said, I won't be shying away from showing the other end of the scale either, as there are moments where consoles can outshine cloud services. I want to do my best not to be biased, and I am still a big console gamer myself as well as a PC gamer locally. This is just a way for me to inform and share my own thoughts and opinion on the very subject. So let me know your feedback, be it bad or good. What did you like? What didn't you like? Leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to take it into account for the next one. Now, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button, as it really does help the channel out. And if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. As always, this has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.